Hi everyone and welcome to Cooking in Manhattan. Recently I have traveled to Ecuador, a beautiful country in South America, and I've learned a wonderful ceviche recipe. So today we are making Ecuadorian ceviche. The difference between Ecuadorian ceviche and Peruvian ceviche, the most famous one, is that the Ecuadorian ceviche features cooked fish, whereas the Peruvian ceviche has uncooked fish that cooks in the juices that it gets mixed with. So if you are concerned about eating seafood, or you cannot find seafood of a quality that allows you to eat it raw, then you can opt for the Ecuadorian ceviche that is safest. So we have now, for the ingredients, 2 cups of cooked shrimps. I boiled them myself just in a big pot with water, a little bit of salt, and I also reserved a little bit of the juice. This will come into play when we mix all the ingredients together. Then we have approximately 2/3 of a cup of orange juice, half a cup of lemon or lime juice. Then we have a generous amount of cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, you can maybe try a little bit of arugula, which is also very tasty for this recipe. Then we have some shallots. I sliced them very thinly, and as you can see, they are now in water. I added some water and salt so that the pungent flavor of the shallot gets drained out. And finally, we obviously will use a little bit of salt and a little bit of ketchup, because Ecuadorian ceviche is actually red. Finally, for garnish, we will use something really fun. The first time I saw that, my eyes popped. But Ecuadorians really like the contrasting textures in their food. So we will garnish everything with a little bit of popcorn. Ecuadorian ceviche is a little bit more soupy than its Peruvian cousin. So let's take a look at how to make the liquid for the ceviche. I have here some ketchup. I will use approximately 1/4 cup of ketchup. Come on. I've never been a big fan of this kind of bottles, but you know, that's what I found. Okay, so 1/4 cup of ketchup, then a little bit of the lime or lemon juice, the orange juice, the cilantro, and finally, more or less, you know, a good amount of the onion, depending on whether you like the onion or not. This is not very oniony because we have been putting it in water and salt, but approximately, I would say probably 1/4 or half a cup of onion, depending how much you like it. And then finally, just a little bit. You don't need to use all the cooking water, but just a little bit, a touch of the cooking water. And now we give it a nice stir. You want to make an emulsion, and you know, it's really about incorporating all the ingredients together. So let me just mix it a little bit and show you how it looks like. So see, this is the way it looks like. Next, we will be adding a little bit of the shrimp, and we will taste also to see if we need to add any other salt and pepper. So first step is actually tasting the juice. So let's see. It needs a little bit of salt. So I'm going to put a little bit of freshly crushed salt. I won't add any spice to this because I like the idea of a sweeter flavor, and it's also very tangy because of the ketchup and all the juices. Oh, if you want, you might want to try sriracha. Maybe a little bit of that for an additional kick, but I want to stick to the traditional recipe. Finally, we are going to add the shrimp. So the whole point is having enough juice for the shrimp to be completely flavored in, and we will actually leave this to marinate for about an hour, and then we will give it a try. And fear not, because the shrimp is not going to turn red, but at the end it will be absolutely delicious. So this is the way it looks like. We have been waiting for approximately 1 hour. You can cook your Ecuadorian shrimp ceviche ahead of time and then leave it in the fridge to marinate, and of course the longer the better, but you want to make sure that you don't exceed 1 day. And then now we have our garnish that I'm very excited about, because the contrasting textures are really, really wonderful. So you can actually hear it. It pops, but it feels like it's absorbing a little bit of the liquid. So let's first try this. It's exactly like the one that I had in Guayaquil. It's really good. And then the shrimp. This is so good. I really loved Ecuadorian cuisine, and I look forward to teaching you a lot of the other recipes that I learned. I will see you again on the next Cooking in Manhattan, but now turn off the computer and get cooking. Ciao!